Court is calling 2023 CR 1969 State of Texas versus Vanessa Baez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Mariela Encinas for the state of Texas, Your Honor.
Defense?
Joseph of Health for the defense.
Are you Miss Baez?
Miss Bass.
Bass. All right, Miss Bass, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated with a child
Yes, ma'am.
15, under 15? Did you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do so, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so.
Ms. Bass, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargaining page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the state jail facility. There's a $500 fine, no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision, and there's to be restitution to Carlos Tovar and ignition interlock for half the term. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours community service restitution, 1 year driver's license suspension, DWI intervention, and VIP. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plea to count 1, paragraph A, B, and C?
Be guilty.
State, any evidence support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers state exhibit 1 in all attachments.
We've reviewed those, Your Honor, with the defense, with the defendant, Ms. Baz, and we have no objections.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. That's okay. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty in count 1, paragraph A, B, and C. And the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
With permission of the court, Your Honor, yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
If it pleases the court, Ms. Baz has readily accepted responsibility for her actions on that day as not just evidenced by her plea of guilty, but this is the first setting that we're on. And she actually, as the court is aware, turned herself in yesterday due to a misunderstanding and miscommunication of her court date a few months back. But she wanted to take care of this as soon as possible, thereby also showing her admittance of guilt and her acceptance of the responsibility for her actions. With respect to Ms. Baz herself, she's been married for 6 years. They have 4 children, ages 15 now, just turned 15, 9, and twins that are 6. She is currently employed as Spring Hill Marriott, and she has been for almost a year in the housekeeping division. There she lives with her husband and her 4 children. Due to the certain financial limitations that she has, she is on Medicaid for the children and some financial assistance, mainly food stamps. And so we're going to respectfully request the court to not only follow the plea bargain, but when you do, Your Honor, to assess the minimum reporting fees, minimum supervisory fees, as well as follow the $500 fine. And since restitution may be involved, she did have insurance on the vehicle. If there's any restitution that's involved, that's important, we believe. And so if you could probate some of that fine as well. She does realize and recognize it is already low considering what it could be. With respect to that, Judge, we do ask you to follow the plea bargain.
All right, anything you wish to say, Ms. Bass?
I truly apologize for my actions. I know it wasn't right and I messed up and I'm trying to hold responsibility for what I've done. And I just, if you please give me a chance, I really don't want to be out of my children's lives. Like, I know what matters and they're my priority. I should have known this 6 months ago, but there's no excuse, there's not. I really, really am sorry, like, I made a mistake.
No, not a mistake. I always tell people a choice.
A choice. I made a wrong choice.
Yes. Because what I've discovered, and I always tell people this, my statistics professor will be upset with me because I haven't done a study. But based upon what I've seen, usually the person who's driving intoxicated, when they get in an accident, they're just fine. Usually it's their passengers who get killed. In this case, it could have been your children. Usually it's some grandmother who's just out trying to enjoy her golden years. I put myself in the golden years category because I'm in the twilight of my life. But usually that's who it is. Somebody who's just trying to enjoy their life. And I don't know why it is in San Antonio and other places. Guess what? If you're going to drink, just have a designated driver. I don't drink. I think alcohol doesn't taste good. That's why I don't drink. But I was always a designated driver for people. You know, because of that, I got free Sprite with lime from everybody because they're like, Stephanie's a designated driver. And I was fine with that. Have a designated driver. Or you know what? Take the VIA bus. I'm going to go drink. I'm taking the VIA bus. Or either drink at your house. There's no need to get behind the wheel because things can go badly pretty quickly. You understand?
Yes, I understand, and you are correct.
Okay. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sentence you to a $500 fine that will be probated, 180 days in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 2 years, proof of employment within 15 days, no employment as a home health care provider with minors, restitution, if any, to Carlos Tovar. If for any reason the restitution appears that it's not what it should be, you can always approach the court. 150 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once you complete the parenting classes, that will satisfy your 150 hours community service restitution. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days, 1 year Texas driver's license suspension, DWI intervention, VIP, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation. If the TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. If it recommends intensive outpatient treatment, we're going to start with supportive outpatient treatment. I'm going to want ignition interlock for half the term. We'll do field visits one time for 2 months. If there are no issues with field visits, then probation, you can discontinue them if you think it's appropriate. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And thank you. You were taken into custody yesterday. You were released and you still made it to court on time. I appreciate that. And thank you for your honesty.
Judge, we may need to go back over one more thing. It has to do with the vehicle. She doesn't have a vehicle.
All right, so if she does not have a vehicle, we're back on the record. You will need to provide an affidavit of non-driving. So that means that you cannot drive any vehicle. And probation, I want it checked to make sure that there are no vehicles at that home. And then if that is the case, then the court will order a mobile device. And probation, she can do whichever mobile device, which is the least expensive one.
I believe she's currently on Scram, Your Honor.
Okay.
And she's been riding the bus since she lacked the funds to get the vehicle out of the impound. And I do realize, and I've explained to her that if she does get a vehicle, then she's going to have to come back to the court or have ignition and placed on that vehicle at that time, and that term has not expired yet.
Okay. All right, thank you. I used to ride the VIA bus. It is nice, right?
It's peaceful, like, I like to catch the bus and then I go through my little route and get my breakfast, go to work. I like it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That excuse, Your Honor?
You're welcome. Yes. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 1969, State versus Vanessa Garcia Bas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense,
Catherine Valenzuela.
and are you Ms. Boss? All right. Ms. Boss, did you have a chance to review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Vanessa Garcia Bas who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 1969 for the offense of driving while intoxicated with a child under 15 on March 28, 2023 for a term of 2 years? Is that you? All right, state.
On or about the second day of May 2023 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant for the secrecy of cost. They then in there illegally used a substance, namely marijuana, in violation of condition number 2. State rate is for and violation application.
To violation of condition number 2, how do you plead? True or not true? And counsel, do you have any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 180 days in the state jail facility? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2? Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, revoke supervision, excessive punishment, and confinement for 180 days.
Is that the agreement?
That's the agreement, Your Honor.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? All right, and is that 180 days in the state jail facility?
Yes.
All right. Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, the court will find violation of condition number 2 true. The court will grant the motion. And the court will sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility. And probation, was there any restitution in this case to Mr. Tovar?
Judge, there was not any restitution actually assessed. It was still to be determined.
All right. All right, well, since you've been on probation since March, and there's been no restitution requested, the court is not going to order restitution.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the court will grant the motion as previously stated, 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. I'm also going to request a therapeutic community for her. It doesn't increase the length of time that you're in custody, but if you have any issue, they may be able to help you with that. I don't have the authority to place you in that program. You'll have to request it as well. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.